Hi there YouTube, this is SEL0320 representing JVS. So, I don't do this a lot, but we do have a comic corner. What we've been doing is me and Center Gaming, we've been going through each Wednesday, picking out like our top comics, some that we've kind of picked up from throughout the week, and just kind of giving y'all an overview of what you should kind of pick up. One of the biggest ones that I just honestly started reading, even though I've collected all the way up to issue number 3, is this bad boy. If you can't see it, it's probably because of the lighting. I apologize. But what this is this is DK3, The Master Race. The Dark Knight Returns 3. Okay? Now, most people remember Dark Knight, Returns with, everything that Frank Miller did with that is a masterpiece. DK2 didn't do that well as far as perception is concerned. And it had some weird things that happened with Kara Kelly, her turning into Cat Girl, and then other things that kind of happened proceeding with like Dick Grayson. But all in all, everybody was anticipated for this because just of the artistry. I mean, you've got in this one, I'll go ahead and read out some of the people that were in it. I'll be real quick about this. So inside, the first thing it shows is based on The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller. This story was by Frank Miller, Brian Azzarello. Azzarello, he came up with one of the most amazing Joker stories. I don't know if you've ever read it or not, but you have to check it out. I'll try to gloss that over. The pencils were done by Andy Kubert, first off. The inks were done by Klaus Janson. Colors were done by Brad Anderson. Letters by Clem Robinson. And then this cover was done by my favorite cover artist, Jim freaking Lee. Oh my gosh. So I have basically all three of these. I'm going to be collecting all of these because I'm not going to touch the actual comics. I've got the physical comics. I will never touch them. Those are going to be part of my collection until I sell off my collection. The reason why I got them like this is because it's hardback. I mean, no matter what. I mean, I could wait for the big one to come out, but I'd rather actually have this so I can go through each comic and not mess it up. And I thought that this is something that I love, in all honesty. And so let's just go into the actual book. First off, the inking in this and the matting in this is amazing. Like, it's so classic. It's so reminiscent of what the older Dark Knight Returns is. Even the dialogue. Like, there's one like depiction that I see up here. I swear it looks like Regis and Mike. And then it's got like some of the, the regular people that are analysts and that are news-driven people throughout the day and night. And it's going to this interesting dialogue and perceptions of the vigilante. As well as they've got the same commissioner that took over for Commissioner Gordon in this one. And it's just like the inks and the way that they actually do it, it's like it didn't miss a step. It feels like Frank Miller. It actually flushes out as a better story in a lot of regards. Because, I mean, the first part you see is not even from the eyes of Batman or Kara Kelly. This is from somebody that's kind of looking in like, well, I need to run, I need to do this. And like, even the way the dialogue is like, I can't understand this. Let me take some time to really flesh this down. And because the dialogue is so disjointed, I have to focus on what's actually going on. So then I start reading through the lines. Sometimes you read a comic book, you're like, you want to get to the action. You want to get to the action beats. You're really paying attention to everything that's being said. Not just that, Wonder Woman actually makes an appearance in this one. And I was like, when you actually figure out what's going on with her story, who she's carrying around with her, who she's connected with. Matter of fact, there's a subcomic at the end of this that Frank Miller did specifically for the Atom. And that plays a part of the story arc. And I hope that they do that with each one of these. I'm not sure. But I can say this. The fighting, the action, like, this is probably one of the better comics that I've read. Matter of fact, like, Mark Miller, I actually really love him because in spite of like some of the things that happened with like the Kick-Ass series or what was that other one, Superior, he's had some amazing stuff. I mean, the Secret Service or the Kingsman, Nemesis, if you've never read that, it's amazing. But one of the things about it is brutal, and Frank Miller is the pioneer of brutality, I mean, he was the one that kind of like pushed the envelope. Even with the Daredevil series we have now, those are straight from his comics, and this, by the end of this comic, and you're trying to figure out where is Batman, what's happened to him, Why is he no longer, you know, working in the shadows anymore? And then when he makes his appearance again, this is really unlike any Batman we've actually seen. And it's surprising because he doesn't necessarily win either. You'd have to read the comic to understand what I'm trying to say. But I can tell you this, like, when you look at the very last few pages of this, you're going to be in shock. Like, straight up, you're going to be in shock because Batman is put through the grinders. The new commissioner is really kind of like pressured into doing something about this. He's still going through this procession like, okay, the world needs Batman. He's bigger than us, you know, but yet he's acting out. So what is going on? What does this mean, you know? And I was just floored by this. For a first comic, like, I was like, this is awesome. This is what you need as a great trigger, a great platform to give it something. I think there's going to be up to 7 issues for this. But I have to give this one no less than like a 9.5 out of 10. I was going to say a 9, but just the inking and just the classic feel to it, it doesn't feel like a comic that was made today. That's the best way I can kind of describe it. Like, I mean, I've read a lot of great comics. I mean, Endgame for Batman, probably one of the better new comics that kind of came out. The Miles Morales new Spider-Man series, probably one of the best on the Marvel side. But when you got like inking and like artists like involved and like bled, like this is their life. You know what I'm saying? Like they lived and thrived to get to this level. And it shows in every way. So I have to give this no less than a 9.5 out of 10. This was a killer knockout. You got the resurfacing of Kara Kelly in this as well, in addition to Wonder Woman. And then there's a lot of things fleshed out about Bruce Wayne and what's going on with him. And I just really enjoyed it. I can't wait to read the next issue. I wanted to go ahead and do this review before I started it. So hopefully you enjoyed this review for issue number 1. The Dark Knight Returns 3. The Master Race. Keep it locked, JVS. We ain't gonna stop. We'll be back for another Comic Corner come Wednesday. Peace, y'all. Have a blessed one.